Do you know there was a time in the United States when Mexicans were called thieves for picking the food that fed this country? When families who helped build this country were sleeping in tents, dying from diseases, all while Americans said they were stealing jobs? And what makes this all sad is that most schools never taught this part of history. But there's one book out there, one beautiful book, that dares to tell it all. This book is called Esperanza Rising by Pam Munoz Ryan. Esperanza Rising is more than just a story. It's our story. Reading Esperanza Rising reminded me of the stories that my grandfather told me when he was a part of the Bracero program, and the stories that my father told me when he came into the United States from Mexico to work in the fields. In this book, it's about a girl named Esperanza who lived in Aguascalientes, Mexico. The timeline is the 1930s, and her life was perfect. That was until tragedy struck. Bandits killed her father, and her uncles tried to force her mother to marry one of them, so the uncles can keep the family wealth. But the mother knew that if she married one of the uncles, they were still going to get assassinated or worse. So Esperanza and her mother fled to the United States. But see, when Esperanza and her mother got into the United States, they had nothing. So they had to start all over again as field workers. Esperanza went from silk dresses and riches to sleeping in tents and on the dirt and wearing the same clothes over and over again. And Esperanza had to learn to survive, to rebuild, and how to keep her hope alive. The author, Pam Munoz Ryan, writes the story about Esperanza, who Esperanza was her grandmother. So Esperanza Rising is based on her grandmother's story. Esperanza Rising gives a voice to every family that was silenced, every grandparent, every parent, every Esperanza who kept going. And this is why I highly recommend Esperanza Rising. Because even 15 years after I first read it, I still remember every single detail of her story. And it makes me appreciate the hard work that my family has put into to be a part of the United States, to be just as American as anybody else. And it helps me love where I come from, appreciate where I come from. So this Hispanic Heritage Month, let's not just celebrate our food and our music, let's celebrate our histories and our untold stories.